So let's talk about what is social entrepreneurship. Now, there is no one agreed definition for social entrepreneurship, which makes it interesting. At the same time, it's debatable at all times. Now, this debate and challenges have helped social entrepreneurs to evolve from time to time, creating new innovative business models and social enterprises. And back to the question again on what is social entrepreneurship. You see, it is an act of addressing a social problem using business skills. In a traditional business environment, businesses are created based on demand. But in a social enterprise, the business is created based on the social problem that needs to be addressed. There are always confusion between how different is a social enterprise and an NGO. The simple way to distinguish them is by saying, now NGOs depend on grants and donation for its sustainability, whereas social enterprise has its own revenue generating mechanism that makes it more sustainable. Also, don't get confused of big firms contributing to community, which can also be confused as a social enterprise, because that's CSR, their corporate social responsibility. The core business is to maximize profit, but they allocate certain portion of their revenues for community development as their social responsibility portfolio. For example, how British American Tobacco does, Microsoft, etc. Now, one may debate about Bill Gates, for example, of he's a social entrepreneur. But for me, he's more of a philanthropist because the core business is profit making, but he channels a lot of his fortune for social good via his foundation that's called the Melinda and Gates Foundation. If you're asking me some good examples of social enterprises, one of my favorite would be DDD, the Digital Divide Data, which started in Cambodia, and now it operates in Laos and Kenya with clients from all around the world. The founder, Jeremy Hockenstein, started the social enterprise addressing a big social issue in Cambodia, which was unemployment and poverty among the marginalized group, especially the disabled, due to Cambodia's long history of war and devastation. Many Cambodian women have few economic choices other than to enter the sex trade. The poor became trapped in low-income jobs because their families could not afford to send them to school. Rural immigrants who came to urban areas hoping to find a better life instead wind up in squatters' settlement, scratching out the subsistence allowance, picking up from garbage. Large number of Cambodians physically disabled in the war are completely marginalized from the workforce as a result of over-discrimination. The situation has created a huge surplus of labor in Cambodia. So this is how Jeremy started Digital Divide Data, which is a technology-based employment social enterprise that provides vocational training to disadvantaged people in Cambodia. Its clients are landmine victims, abused women, rural immigrants, and orphans. Through DDD, they receive computer literacy and technology training to qualify for basic and low-skilled jobs in the technology sector. Clients are then placed in data entry jobs within DDD, whereby they receive paid-on-the-job training in a supportive environment. DDD secures contracts for data entry work outsourced by universities and businesses, which provides employment for its clients and generates income for its operating costs, including fair wages and social costs related on education and training. The combination of paid work, experience, and computer literacy, coupled with education, prepares clients or the beneficiaries for higher paying skilled work opportunities. Another cool social enterprise that always mesmerizes everyone when I share it is Apopo. It's a Belgian social enterprise with headquarters in Tanzania and operations are in Mozambique, Angola, and Cambodia. Now, social entrepreneurs seize opportunities where people usually see problems, which is the case of how Apopo existed. When the whole world sees rats as problems and always have negative connotations to it, Bart Wiggins, the founder, sees the potentials in these rats. Yes, Apopo trains rats to save lives by finding landmines and detecting tuberculosis in the lab. So thousands of lives have been saved by these hero rats. So if you want to know more about how these rats are doing an awesome job, you may have to find it online and see videos. And there are many other examples, such as the famous celebrity chef Jamie Oliver's restaurant in London called 15, where he trains underserved young people to work in F&B industry and make them employable. All profits are then channeled to further expand its social mission. One should remember that being a social entrepreneur means he's a businessman first to ensure the venture is sustainable, but his heart is with the community he's serving. It is hard to juggle the roles wisely, but many social entrepreneurs have proven that it's possible. Now let's look at the different types of business models for social enterprises. There are 7 general social enterprise business models, or framework I call it, that most researchers and practitioners on this field have shared. And of course, it's not only these 7, and there can be a hybrid model by either mixing or blending them together. A successful social enterprise could possess qualities from several of these frameworks. What they have in common is that the social enterprise could generate income while delivering on its social impact goals. So the 7 frameworks or the models are fee for service, cross-compensation, employment and skills training. The 4th is the market intermediary. The 5th is the market connector. 6th, independent support. And lastly, cooperative model. Now, these 7 frameworks are not typically seen in traditional for-profit business, because traditional business tends to optimize only for the revenue, with less or no emphasis on social and environmental considerations. Now let's look at the first model, fee for service. Beneficiaries pay directly for the good or services provided by the social enterprise. Now, for example, cheaper household items for the base of the pyramid market for the poor. It can be clean drinking water, small sachets of shampoos, soaps, bread and milk, and any other items that are affordable for poor people. If you're looking at the second model, cross-compensation. Now, one group of customers pay for the service, but the profits from this group are used to subsidize the service for another underserved group. A very good example will be the Aravind eye care system. Provides needed treatments and surgeries to prevent avoidable blindness and improve vision health. So in the year ending March 2013, Aravind has provided services to over 3 million outpatients and almost 400,000 surgeries. Now, patients who cannot afford to pay receive the service for free, and this accounts for roughly 2/3 of their patients. Others choose to go to receive vision treatments at Aravind because of the high quality service they provide. And these patients who can afford, they pay market rates. So there are people who can afford to pay the market rate, and the money that they make from this will be used to cover the expenses of people who can't afford to pay. So that is the second model, which is the cross compensation. Let's look at the third one, which is the employment and skills training. The core purpose is to provide living wages, skills development, and job training to the beneficiaries. The beneficiaries here mean they are the employees. The example will be the celebrity chef, Jamie Oliver's restaurant in London called 15, where he trains underserved young people to work in F&B industry and make them employable. All profits are channeled to further expand his social mission. Looking at the model number 4, which is the market intermediary, the social enterprise acts as an intermediary or distributor to an expanded market. The beneficiaries are the suppliers of the product and services that is being distributed to an international market. A very good example will be something that I came across in Egypt, in Cairo, which is the Creative Egypt, which is a showroom which aims to revive and preserve Egyptian heritage handicrafts by reintroducing high quality, modernized products to be marketed locally and globally. Now, Creative Egypt features artistic and creative works including furniture, carpets, textile, glass, leather, porcelain, copper, metals, patchwork, mat, and other heritage products made by 16,000 artisans from 45 different groups representing the Egyptian heritage and handicrafts industries in 17 provinces nationwide, who are mainly from the base of the pyramid market segment. That's a very good example of the 4th model, which is the market intermediary. Now, looking at the 5th model, the market connector, the social enterprise facilitates trade relationships between beneficiaries and new markets. The main difference between this framework and the market intermediary framework, which was the 4th framework, is that the market connector is not selling goods, but is only facilitating the trade relationship. A very good example will be for micro-lending, kiva.org. That's exactly what they do. And social crowdfunding, Start Some Good, which means they have a platform where they connect two different, the seller and the market together. Looking at the 6th framework, independent support. The social enterprise delivers a product or service to an external market that is totally separate from the beneficiary and social impact generated. Now, funds are used to support social programs to the beneficiaries. Example, there are a lot of consulting firms out there who are more of empowering the social entrepreneurs. The consulting phase, the counseling, some of them provide employment training. They can lease out any of their assets, like, okay, I have this big nice space and I want to give it for social cause. They can give free printing services and so forth. As long as you are pretty independent of whatever you are doing, but you are also providing that sort of either your own expertise or your assets for good cause, then you are an independent support. Let's look at the last model, which is the cooperative model. This is a unique model. Arguably, I would say this is the oldest established social enterprise framework, which has existed for hundreds of years throughout history. A cooperative can be for-profit or non-profit business that is owned by its members who also use its services, providing virtually any type of goods or services. It won't be fair for me to just highlight on one example. There are many examples of co-ops ranging from food producers, financial service providers, workers co-op, and others. Now, cooperatives are unique in that they are wholly member-owned, with each member having an equal and democratic voice into the operations of the business, with values of honesty, social responsibility, and caring for others integral within the cooperative framework. For me, I would say it is a business model truly built for social enterprise. Now, based on all this business model and framework, as an entrepreneur, you must first decide which model to adopt and work towards it.